Hello there, everybody of the universe. My hair is a mess, but I'm sick, so, deal with it. um, Excuse the random noise in the background. I don't know what they're doing. That happens every other day. Um, so, I wanted to. Today was talking video day, so I just want to talk about my next work experience, which was Wendy's. I only worked at Wendy's from May to January, so like what? May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. So about 8 months. I worked there 8 months. I mostly worked drive-through, so I got to deal with that a lot. Uh, my boss didn't completely speak English. She was kind of, I'm going to turn up the brightness on my phone here if it wants to. It doesn't want to. Perfect. I didn't want it to do that anyway. So my boss didn't really speak English very well. I had to buy new shoes. It didn't matter if I already had non-slip shoes. I had to buy new non-slip shoes, and I had to bring the receipt into orientation, which is kind of weird. So orientation was long and boring like you'd expect. Stupid squirrel, what are you doing? Jumping around up there. Other than that, so I worked drive-through most of the time, especially when I started. Kind of, it came when it's busy. It kind of sucks because then you have to keep a certain time on how many on how long the cars are sitting out there, and sometimes it's not even your fault. But since you're a drive-through person, you get blamed. So that's always great. I I'm sick, so I'm going off track and I'm walking around a lot. I shouldn't be. I took my Dayquil, I promise. Um, I I used a big customer service voice when talking through the mic, and a lot of people thought I was a woman just from how they heard me. They're like, "Thanks, ma'am." And so I stopped doing that for after a few of those. I was like, because I'm not the only one that's on the headset. Usually the shift manager is and the sandwich person is. So they were like, "You're a woman now?" So that was always fun to deal with. Um, so I stopped doing that, and I tell that story every once in a while because I was like, it's funny to me. Back then I was kind of like slightly annoyed, and I shouldn't have been, but it's kind of funny to me now that they thought I was a woman. I guess I don't know. That was funny to me. And then so I did get trained to do grill, so I got to make the patties and stuff, and it was interesting because one night my boss, because I worked a lot of night shifts, so my boss, as she was leaving, because she leaves after day shift is over, was like, "Oh, and can you work grill tomorrow? Because my grill person's gonna be out." And I was like, "That's fine." She's like, "I'll be here to teach you," and I'm like, "That's fine." So the next day comes around, and I'm like, "All right, Betty. So what do I do?" She goes, "What do you mean?" She's, "Oh shit, probably shouldn't have said her name." She goes, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "I don't think she manages there anymore." Anyway, there's a lot of Wendy's, and who knows which one I went to, right? So she's like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, You said you're going to teach me grill, so I'm going to be on grill." She goes, "Oh, I can't teach you. I'm leaving." I was like, "Really?" So she left, and one person that was there for only like 30 minutes was like, "I could teach you in like 5 minutes." So I was like, "Thank you." So he taught me in 5 minutes. He's really nice. I've noticed that it was a place a lot of high schoolers worked too, so a lot of people were younger than me. But, anyways, I needed this job, and after a while, I was looking for another job because I was like, I'm kind of tired of this, especially since as somebody that works on the drive-through more, I got to do dishes at the end of the night. Yay me! But I became allergic to the soap. My fingers were drying out, and I was getting red spots up and down my arm. And I showed my boss, and she's like, "What do you want me to do?" And I was like, "Well, I can't do dishes anymore, so probably not drive-through." "Okay, we'll make sure that happens. Put me on drive-through for the next 3 weeks." I was like, "God damn it!" So that was great. Um, Eventually, though, wow, it got really dark. Eventually, though, I was getting less and less hours, so I had to move on, and I looked for a job and I'll tell you about that job next time. That'll be my Five Guys experience part 1, because I did 2 different Five Guys right after another, so that's awesome. So other than that, I don't really have many stories about it, except I learned to unload a truck because one night I closed, and then the next morning they called me and were like, hey, somebody can't come in, can you come in right now? And I'm like, sure, why the f*** not? So I always love doing closing to morning shifts because I always sleep so well during those nights. Never really do. When I worked there, I was one of 3 white people, and now I don't need to mention that, but I do need to mention that most of the people that worked there were Mexican. And the only reason I say that is because I worked with a friend of mine that worked there. She worked mornings, I worked nights, so we didn't really see each other anyway, but her grandfather apparently came in and was like, this is the worst Wendy's I've ever been to. There were Mexicans jumping on the tables and dancing on them, and the place was just so unclean. I was like, I was there that night. There was no Mexicans jumping on tables and shit. I would know. Sometimes the nights got really, really slow, especially during like winter. I don't know why that's a thing, because I go to fast food whether it's blazing hot or raining all day. I don't know. But so I ended up getting cut down to like 1 night a week, and I was like, I can't live off of this, so I had to look for another job. By the time I found my Five Guys job, it was November, because it was just before Thanksgiving. And I was kind of working both jobs while Five Guys was like, hey, is he good? Is he not? So after they're like, yeah, he's good, I was like, bye, Wendy's. See ya. So I kind of left that. I don't really have too many stories about it. I did get along with one of my... I made a friend there. His name is... I don't know if I can say his name, but he always called himself the token black guy because he was the only black guy there, and he was hilarious to mess around with. We both watched like some of the same animes and stuff, and I just got along with him really well. After I left Wendy's, though, I played League of Legends with him a few times, but my internet was not really that good at that point, and I hadn't played in like forever, so I never really got an invite back. I play things like Smite, and I played Paragon for a long time before it went away. So, you know, off topic. Anyways, that's really about it for Wendy's. It's kind of again, it's more of a beginning job, but I was kind of desperate looking for a job in town because I just left Pizza Factory because I moved into town. Pizza Factory is like a 45-minute drive up the hill back then. Now... so I moved to Wendy's, and then I started getting low hours, so I had to look for another job, which Five Guys isn't really... I guess it kind of is a beginning job as well, but I'll talk about that next time. So yeah, I need to go recover my sickness. If you can't hear it, it's pretty gross. So everybody have a great day. If I missed any stories, I don't know. I'll do a missed stories part video if I do, because I can't think of everything off the top of my head. That was like 2015 to 2016, and my memory's not the greatest, especially when I'm sick. So yeah, all these cars going by. I'm just hoping it's not my landlady. That's another story for another time. So everybody have a wonderful day. I'm just gonna go recover. Bye.